Okay, this is Don Davis from the Happy Lab. I'm going to demonstrate how to export information from PsycInfo into EndNote and then from EndNote into an Excel document. This is described in one of the steps of how to conduct a literature review that I described in one of my prior podcasts or screencasts. Okay. Um, so I've got a group in my appraisal class that's wanting to look at work on humility in the context of power postures. There's some work by Amy Cuddy. So we're going to use this as an example, but for your search, say you're doing a search on social connectedness, you do a similar process. So first of all, preferences, always change results per page to 50. Otherwise, you're going to be having to do a lot more work. I think the default's like 10 or 20. So I'm going to send the results of my search to a folder. And then within this folder, I'm going to select everything. I actually talked to the library and got them to up how many you can export at a time. And so you can currently export 500 articles. So it saves a lot of time that we did that. And then we're going to export this over to, so when I hit save on a Mac, it's just going to put this file, this RIS format file, it's going to save it to your downloads folder. You see it? Yep, there it went. Okay, so we're going to go downloads. Here it is. So when I click this, it's going to import all of that over into EndNote. Whoopsie. So yeah, here are those articles. So before I kind of export this, you have to kind of make sure you either delete the dissertations or you have to put something in the journal line or it's gonna act up. So I mean, just for the sake of what we're doing here, I'm gonna delete these two dissertation projects. So everything else looks good. So you can see down here, it gives you a preview. And I've created several output styles. So this allows me to send things over to Excel in a certain format. So year, journal, author, and then read abstracts. I've got kind of the author's journal title, and then the abstract. So I'll show you how that works, but if you want to do this within your program, you're going to have to go to Output Styles and click New Style, and then you can go down to Bibliography Templates and kind of tell it what fields you're wanting to insert. So like, for example, author or year or title or secondary author. And then to actually be able to use those outputs, you have to go, I think it's this one, and you have to click the new ones you created so that it allows you to use them. So that's kind of the background information. So let me show you how this works. It's a really powerful reference tool. So you can keep all these different kind of searches within here. You can search within these. So let's see if there's any of her publications that have talked about forgiveness. Nope. What about power? Oh yeah. So anyway, get the gist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of these and go into Word, and this is this is, I forget what they call it. Let me see. But it's kind of the code EndNote uses to describe each citation, and then you can update these citations. And so right now we're using APA 6th. Bam, it just built a reference page for us based on those. But what we can also do is use some of those custom styles. So what I'll do is open up Excel, or I've used Google Docs, similar version at times if I'm wanting several people to be able to kind of look at it. So copy and paste the authors, copy and paste the year, and then copy and paste the journal, and then finally I'll do this read abstract. Boom, and that's it. But what's nice is you can go in here and let's see, table. You can create a table that will allow you to sort by these articles. So I'll add a column here, and so when I read through the abstract, I'll either do this in Word or here. I'll read through and maybe take a couple of notes on what the main point was, and that kind of helps me get a sense of what's in the literature field. So if you look here, I mean, she's got several JPSP articles. She's got 4 Psych Sciences, 2 PSPBs, and also a science article. So pretty quickly we can kind of see some of her high tier publications. And if I were kind of starting to just want to get a general sense, I'd probably read this Psych Science 2015, where she did apparently a review and summary of the research on this work. So that's probably, if you're just going to read one thing, the best summary of this work. And then what you might want to do is also just save these references, send yourself an email, or you could just maybe drop this into a column here, or open up a page. See that? And then save this Excel file, and you've got your search and references in a format that would be really easy to kind of organize.